Good morning, podcast listeners or YouTube watchers. What's up? This is the Musician Life Podcast. I'm John Kent, professional musician, and this podcast, this whole thing is based for musicians, or if you're trying to be a musician, if you're trying to make a living being a professional musician. This is just a podcast. This is a YouTube channel, just to try and help you, give you some advice. The main objective of this is just to provide value to you guys, anyone that's listening, who's interested / working in music and that. So this is episode number 2 anyway. This episode is just going to touch on, because the subject I'm talking about right now is quite deep, especially when it comes to musicians, and that is sort of, should you play a gig for free? I think that question should be, when should you play a gig for free? Because I think there's a time and place for when you should. Now this sort of topic is, you chuck this into musicians group chat on Facebook or something. I mean, it blows up. So many people are completely against it. Some people are for it. I think there's a definite value to playing a gig for free, and there's a time and place, and it's also personal as well, So let's just dive straight into it. The value of playing a gig for free and when you should do it. Now, if you're young, you're still in school, secondary school, under the, if you're still in school, college, maybe in university and stuff like that, you're still studying music and that, or even if you're not that sort of age, the young experience part, that's when you should be doing gigs for free. Not all the time, doesn't have to be all the time, but that's most likely when you're gonna get a lot of gigs. I played so many gigs for free when I was a kid, or you get paid like 20 quid, 30 quid, 20, 30, $40, whatever. Those gigs though, they're more like building up that experience, building up what it feels like to be on stage, those kind of things. There's those foundational things as a musician, what it's like. You can make your mistakes there. It's like the working ground. Those club gigs, those band nights, jam nights. Obviously you don't get paid for a jam night, but you know what I'm saying. If you are in a position where you have zero experience or very little experience, first few years of you playing and you're learning of your instrument, that's probably going to be the best time for you, where getting paid for a gig isn't essential. You're not living for music. You're not living off of music, rather. You are not making a living off of music. You are pursuing that, right? In the very beginning, in the very first few years. So that's definitely the first example, I would say, where you should play gigs for free, because you're developing experience. So that's pretty much, self-explanatory. You can understand that. The next kind of point, which is maybe where a lot of people get angry, especially on the Facebook type of thing, I would say that you have to know what the opportunity is for you if you're doing this gig for free. Now, obviously, a lot of people that offer these gigs, especially on the Facebook one, I think why people get angry is because they use the word exposure. And there's all sorts of memes out there, my rent is 600 exposures. It's quite funny. But if we're looking at it seriously, I'm gonna just take a sip of my green tea here. It's early in the morning. What time is it right now? 7:20 in the morning. It's cold outside. Starting this podcast early. I'm gonna try and do this every day, by the way, as well. And if there's any subjects you guys wanna ask, or any questions, whatever, drop a message on YouTube at the Musician Life Podcast, or I think it's just the Musician Life actually, or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, JK the Bass Player. I'm just gonna take a sip of my green tea. trying to be healthier. It's the morning. So anyway, back to the subject. So you need to know really what's the value in this gig for me as a musician. What can I get out of it that's not money? All right. And if you're a working musician, let's say maybe you've just become a working musician, maybe you've been a professional working musician for years. What can I get out of this gig if I do it for free? Now, obviously, like, you know, there's the one example which is like a charity event. You can still get paid gigs for charity events for sure. That's not unheard of at all. But if you want to do it, then that's your choice. You know, if it's a charity that's close to your heart, or you know it means a lot to you, and you want to play that gig for free, then fair enough. But let's talk about something else, which is what's the value that can be provided for you? What can you get out of it right now? So, from my own experience, right, it doesn't even have to be a gig for free, right? It can be some kind of using your musical skills, trading it off for something else in return, right? For example, something my band did, and there's 5 of us, so we all agreed to this. There's a university in London, and they needed a band to record, you know, for the production students who are studying their degree. They need to record a band. They need to learn how to record a band. And there was an advert up, and it wasn't paid. Excuse me, it wasn't paid, or it could have been paid, or they were offering like time in the studio. Now, if you're a musician, you know how valuable time in the studio is and how much that costs per hour, days, blah blah blah. It all starts racking up. Anyway, the students needed a band throughout their term, so we had to come in once a week for a whole term, and then at the end of it, we've got paid to come in, which wasn't that much money, or we could have studio time. I mean, if you're a band, studio time is like gold dust. You know, it's gold. You want to record music and stuff, and professional environment, sound engineer, like, you know, good equipment and all that. It's very valuable. So that's what we did. That's a trade-off. You know, that's where we did something for free, and the value we got out of it was a studio where we got to record songs, and whatever we wanted to record at the time. And there was also a performance space where we recorded some videos as well. That was great. You know, that was a really valuable trade for us, and for them as well. It was a win-win, and that's what you're looking for. I think if you're playing a gig for free, you're looking for a win-win. They're obviously going to get a win because they're asking for you, your band, your music, your musicianship. You know, so they're getting what they want, and it has to provide you with value as well, I think, if it's for free. And this is if you're a professional working musician. That means you make your living as a musician, right? Like I said at the start of this video, I think it's a little bit different if you are starting your career, starting your journey into music. You know, maybe you don't have all the experience and stuff. Then you're looking to build that experience, and of course do gigs for free. Like, you know, that's more beneficial to you to get the experience, so then later down the line, you know, you're just better at doing your job, doing what you want to do, you know, doing performing or whatever it is actually as well. Could be mixing, could be anything to do with music, arranging, transcribing. Like, the more practice you get in, it's all about reps. It's all about those hours and hours and hours, and that's when you become valuable, because you are a musician. You are, whatever the skills you have in music, whatever instrument you play, whatever you do, you have built a foundation, a massive foundation of hours and hours and years and years and years and years of grafting on your skills, and then you become valuable, and then you charge for music. Then you charge people to pay for your skills because you have developed them, right? So that's the difference between when you're in the beginning and you should do as much stuff for free as possible, and when you're a professional musician, and when you should choose the right moment to do the gig for free or not, or do whatever it is for free. Yeah. That's what I believe anyway. This is only my opinion, and I've been a professional musician for over half my life now, which is amazing. I love it. But I would say there are definitely times, just to summarize, there are definitely times, opportunities where you should do a gig for free, and it's only you can choose that. Only you know that when it's right for you. And sometimes you might choose something and it might just not work out. Doesn't mean you should be discouraged from it, but it just means, that you went and did it and you got experience from it. That's all life is, man. At the end of the day, it's just experience. You learn from it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you keep moving forward and you keep using your experience and other people's experience as well, what people tell you. And that's basically it, man. I think we're gonna end the episode there anyway. It's only a short one, only about 10 minutes or so, but that's pretty much how I would say you choose whether to do a free gig or not. All right. Anyway, this is the Musician Life podcast. I'm gonna try and do this every day. I'll kind of challenge myself. Every morning, I'm gonna wake up, have my green tea in my Nando's cup. Gotta love a Nando's. I'm gonna try and get these podcasts out, man. And I'm gonna chuck them on YouTube. If you're a YouTube watcher, it's gonna be a video. It's just me in my basement. Just in my room. And then there's a podcast as well, which should be through all podcast platforms. And as I said, the goal of this is to provide value, just knowledge that I have, experience that I have, and why not, man? Podcasts are awesome. I listen to a lot of them, and YouTube's awesome. I watch a lot of content on there, so start making it. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I hope you learned something. Hope this was valuable for you. And catch you on the next episode, hopefully. All right, peace out. Subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on the podcast, and definitely drop us a message. Would love to hear from anyone out there. Got any questions about music they want to hear about, or anything, just in general. This is musician life, right? It's about music, but it's about life as well. So anyway, peace out, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Peace.